We're going to be checking out a budget Krytac in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. That's right, you heard me right, a budget Krytac, the premium gun that has pretty much kind of set the bar in airsoft of what you're getting with a full metal AEG. That's right, they're coming out with a budget line, and it's called the Alpha line. So I know, Alpha's kind of an interesting name, considering their primary line is the Trident series. The Alpha, which kind of sounds like it's the top tier, is actually their budget line. They're kind of, I would say, entry level to the high end. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a mid-tier gun because you get so much under the hood and outside the hood of this gun to really move it up into that, I would say, the lower end of the premium offerings. So let's start with the externals. I'll show you what you get differently with this and the other versions of the Alpha line, and then we'll move to the internals to see what's different there as well. So that's right, I'm double fisting. We were looking at two different versions of the Alpha. These are two different configurations, and the differences externally are very small. Now this one is extremely unique. It's a short little pistol. It's kind of designed special, and it's really designed or aimed toward the CQB crowd. This one is kind of your standard CQB rifle. It works for everything, and of course you can always slap on a suppressor to make it longer. And this one does have the signature Krytac stock. So we're going to start with this guy here, and I'm going to show you all the things you get, and then we're going to talk about this one just a little bit. So what sets the Alpha line externally apart from what you get from its bigger brother, the Trident series, is, well, not too much. The rail is really where things are different, and that's about it, to be honest with you. Looking at the rail, you're not going to get the key mod you're going to find on your typical Krytac Trident series. Instead, it's just actually a clean cut rail system with some holes in here to actually install some rail panels. You'll have holes down the side so you can install the standard width regular screw-in rail panels and across the bottom as well, so you can actually add foregrips or whatever you need by using those regular panels. Across the top, you still get a full metal flat top rail. You still get the Krytac front and rear metal sights that come with all their guns, the Trident or the Alpha, and the rail and the body and all the parts you get on the Trident series are all metal. So seriously, that is the only difference you're going to get. Now, I do have a small difference. If you guys notice, some of the newer guns are coming with their new grip, specifically the new LVOA and the new Trident. This one does come with a standard grip. And here on the very end, for the really keen-eyed, you're going to see a shorter rubber butt pad. Now, the standard ones are a little longer to fit that brick-type battery. This will still fit a buffer tube battery horizontally, and of course down in the buffer tube as well. But this is the shorter rubber butt pad with different kind of a pattern here on the outside versus that. So that's it. Those are the only differences you're going to find on this. You're getting the same exact metal body, the same markings, the same rail with the exception of the lack of key mod with that, and a little bit of detail around the front. So externally, you're pretty much getting a Trident gun. It's crazy. And the price point, which we'll get here to the end of the video when you find out what these things are going to retail for, is a pretty big drop. And it's actually pretty impressive they could squeeze so much into this and still keep that price way down. Now, I did want to show you this little pistol before we jumped into internals. This one's kind of cool, and I've had people say that they love it or they don't love it. It's kind of a one or the other. It's really short. You've got this like crazy break. I don't know if I'm going to put it really close to the camera so you guys can see. It's just kind of like this integrated suppressor look. And fortunately, you do have a home for the battery back here in the back. It is rear wired. It just takes a couple, actually one Allen screw to get this back plate off. But what's cool is they even put some Krytac detailing on it. So it gives you this short, little tiny CQB gun to really lay down some fire in a really small package. But you still get a little bit of a top rail here if you want to put some optics on. But unfortunately with this one, you're not going to get any rear sights, and there's no place to put a front sight. So this one's going to lean heavy either for snap shooting or as a pistol, or definitely running an optic on it. Okay, so under the hood, you know, they got to cut some corners to bring that price down. So, okay, you're bracing for like all the bad news. You're going, okay, Jonathan, they changed the gears, they changed all these other parts. Actually, no. You still get the same gears. You still get the same MOSFET. You still get the same piston. You still get the same cushion piston head. Your mech box is identical. Everything under the hood's identical. The only difference on the mech box part is the spring. They've tuned it down, and we'll talk about that in the Corona section and why they did it and what the original audience was for this and how the American market can benefit, and of course the European and Japanese markets really went out with this. So yeah, in the mech box, it is 100% Krytac. So we're getting this deep into the review and you're asking, well, they've dropped the price, you get this, where are the corners cut? Well, there's one thing they have changed internally, and that's the motor. And it's because of the way it's set up and what they were shooting for with an FPS level, they had to put a different motor in here to bring it down a little bit. So this isn't gonna be as beefy as a motor as their legendary motors that come in their Trident series, which are unbelievable motors. If you guys have watched any of my reviews on the Trident, you know that motor is insane for a stock gun. This is still a good motor. Don't think that, oh, well, great, this thing's made of paper mache. This is still a solid motor, but they put a softer motor in to bring the rate of fire down because you're gonna wanna run a lower voltage battery at this gun. This one's definitely not gonna be set up for an 11-1. You'll probably start to see misfeedings, which you're gonna be well up in the 20s for your rate of fire. But you know what? That's a pretty good segue to jump on into the chrono test. All right, so taking this chrono, you're going to see what this gun was originally designed for. And this was designed for the European market and the Japanese market. So this is a 1-joule gun. So you're gonna see around that 320 feet per second out of this and everything in the Alpha line. So that's why you have a much softer spring and why they went with a different motor, so you weren't getting an insane rate of fire with your battery in there. So like I said, you're gonna wanna test this with the 7.2 LiPo, and that's what I did here as well. Still some really good numbers in the teens, and of course that 1-joule number. Good news is, if you guys want to start with this gun as a base to build off of, to actually build up into a full Trident, it's a simple fix. Quick change spring, yes, that's right. Remember, these things do have a quick change spring on the back. Swap a new spring in, change that motor out if you can put a new Krytac or any aftermarket motor in here, and then you've got a beast. So this gives you a chance to get in under that premium, under $300, and that's where the price tag really shines. This is $275. The smaller pistol I showed you earlier is $255. You get a full metal gun, a rail, a full Krytac mech box with the MOSFET. The only difference is a motor and a spring, and it's still a good motor. All that for those price points. That is pretty darn neat to see. Then, like I said, if you want to upgrade down the road, throw a different motor in this thing, no problem. Upgrade that spring if you want to get something up to 350. And I'll tell you right now, this will handle 350. If you want to take it to field limit like indoor, you can put a 350 spring in here, no problem. If you're going to 400, you might want to upgrade the motor. You might start to see kind of the top end of the power band on that motor just to get that really snappy trigger response. But once you do that, then you can throw a LiPo on it, do whatever you want, 11-1, go crazy with it. You pretty much have a full Krytac. So guys, if you've been looking for a way to get into a premium Krytac because the top end guns are awesome, the Trident, but you didn't want to go north of $300 on a purchase, definitely check out their new Alpha lineup, and it's dropped here in May of 2016 at the very end of it. And of course, you can pick this up anywhere Krytac's products are sold, or if you guys want to learn more about it, as always, I've got a link down in the description below. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you're not currently a subscriber, click on the logo in the bottom right or in the description and you'll always be in the know. Plus, if you like what you saw in this video and want to learn more, I've got a link down there as well. And if you haven't had your airsoft fix just yet, click in the videos on the right or use the info button at the top of the screen for more. And as the saying goes, everyone has an opinion, and I do want to hear yours. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this video, comment, and share.